go. Yeah.
All right. Hey everybody, I'm Bobby Mahoney.
I'm Andrew Saul.
And we play in a little rock and roll band called Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son out of New Jersey. We're here today to talk about our song, Shoulda Called You Up Last Night. It's available on the internet, where you are now, probably, maybe, I don't know. But so, yeah, it's a song we put out last year, at the very, very end of 2018, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And with our friends here at Telegraph Hill Records. So if you haven't heard the song before, you should definitely check it out on Spotify, check it out on Apple Music, on all those other places. Anyway, Shoulda Called You Up. So originally, the riff is centered kind of around a D sus2 chord.
Shout out music theory over here.
Yeah. So I teach music at a private school, and I also teach private lessons. But so I was at the school, one day messing around with the guitar, and I kind of started working on this riff, which again is based on that D sus2 feel. So. Which, is pretty much how the riff goes. I might play it better on some days than others. But, so it's based around the D sus2 chord, and then it drops down to a C sharp, and then kind of goes back to that D, then it goes to a B, sort of formation.
That's the Bobby Mahoney chord. Like, there's the Hendrix chord. This is the Bobby Mahoney chord.
At least at the time of filming, anyway, it's the chord that I'm partial to in a lot of our songs. It's that sort of that sixth on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I go to that A, and then it repeats. So I had the riff pretty much intact, and we ran through it sort of as the band. It was very rough, sort of. It was a lot heavier the first couple times we played through it. But then I finished the song with our friend Cruz from Jesse Mallon's band. I went over to his apartment, and we finished some of the lyrics and the sort of a bit of the song structure together. And then we came to record it here at the band with Joe Pom here at Telegraph Hill. Yeah. What else do you have to say about the song, Andrew?
What do I have to say about the song? It's a good song. I highly recommend it.
Hey. Honestly, that's more than I get out of them a lot of the time. So that's pretty
Yeah, so everything Bobby said is true. I guess we'll go into, so Bobby played his, so we played different variations of the riff. So he plays it like that. So one thing to note, I'm actually tuned to a non-standard tuning. My high E string has been tuned to a D.
Look at that.
So because the song is in D, I had some ideas where, I could have like that open D string ring in there. So when I'm playing it, it's actually, this note is an A instead of a B. So I play. So that's basically the only thing I play for like the entire first half of the song, basically.
Because John Chang-Soon,
he's still alive.
what was his gamer tag? Anyway, so he and I pretty much hold down the 1, 2, 3 for the descending bass line, and then Andrew and I do the riff together. Yeah, and then Derek plays some pretty piano parts over it, and then do you want to show the harmonic part you do?
Yeah, so actually, if you listen very closely on the recording, so I'm playing. This is the main part. On top of that, so when I play it live, I play it in the middle position. So under that, there's also this harmonic, this tapped harmonic that I do up here. That's like kind of right under there and kind of fills up the space a little bit.
When he started playing that, I forget at which point in the studio you started playing that.
It was probably like 3 a.m.
But that became, yeah, it probably was. That became like, at least for me, I was like, that's really the hook. And obviously the riff is the hook, but like that was really like, that part of it was a big part of the soundscape of the song. Listen to us. But like, I that and like the piano, and it all sort of really helps make that song come together. Do we want to play through it a little bit?
Yeah, so we can get up to, I guess, the first chorus, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll start off from the beginning of the song?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, hold on. To note, John Chang-Soon does a great slide in on up to that D note
Yeah.
to start, and it feels weird when he's not here to play it. Yeah. But anyway, and James McIntosh killed the drum part as well. Those drums were, meticulous.
Yes.
So he did a great job on that. Absolutely, he's always a killer drummer. So anyway, should have called you up
Yes.
from the top. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Should've called you up. Should've called you up. Should've called you up.
Actually, that's probably a good time to stop too, because the way I'm playing those descending notes when the verse comes in, I'm doing a D with the third to this inversion of the C sharp to the Bobby Mahoney chord to the A. And then you and John Chang-Soon start doing harmonies on the Shoulda Called You Ups at that point.
Yeah.
And the next verse is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But it
So
starts
then
building
live,
up.
I switch then to the bridge pickup.
What do you play at that
So
point?
I go
you start
back to
doing
that
climbing
riff.
part.
So that's what it sounds like on the bridge pickup. So I do that for the first half of the next verse, and then this is where that open D comes in. I'll go this ascending riff that goes like. Then that'll go into the second chorus.
So yeah, Andrew has this knack of making all my songs better by playing parts like that on top of it, because that's incredible. And that's one of my favorite parts of the song.
Yeah, because it needs something on top, because there's a lot of stuff going on with the.
Yeah, that's for that part.
Yeah.
The song's really building, so that part really helps accentuate that. And then it goes into another
chorus.
Yeah, and then I get heavier. On that Shoulda Called You Up last night. And the bridge. So the bridge is kind of a play on the same type of part. Derek and we needed a bridge, so I was like, how about this? And I pretty much played it, and he was like, well, yeah, that'll do it.
That works.
That works. So it's, again, it's sort of that D, C sharp, that descending feel, but we added some extra rock and roll hits on that. So let's play that bridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we got fancy at that end section there.
Put a harmony in there.
Yeah, got juicy.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I always enjoyed playing that part too, because the song really starts to really turn into a rock tune at that point. Because in the beginning part, it's an '80s, hair metal ballad. I always thought it was like an '80s vibe at that beginning part, sort of '80s tune, and then that really opens up more into like a Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son rock tune at that point. Then it goes back down to that main riff, clean. One of my hardest parts in the show is doing is doing our pedal board tap dance. You can't see my feet going.
To clean up, right? The hit it at that note.
I pretty much would just hit the volume knob and turn off as many of my pedals as I can hit at that point. and then go to the volume knob.
Yeah.
And just try to make it as clean as possible and hit the notes right too. And then we go.
Back
The
to
band
riff.
kind of comes back in on the Bobby Mahoney chord, that sort of B over, the D over B kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then we're sort of building back up into that outro part.
Yeah, just heavier.
Yeah, and the outro. Why don't you show your outro part? Because that's really, I guess,
So
where
the
we're
solo.
at. Yeah, the solo. Yeah.
All right.
So I'll let you break that down in a second. So
Yeah.
one thing also I didn't talk about on the Shoulda Called You Up last night at the G or the 4 to the 4 minor, which is in like every song ever. But we lifted that and put it in the song, and so that's what we do there. Slowly, so on a good day,
Yeah.
what do you show what your that fast lick
So
is?
that fast riff. So I am not really much of a lead guitar player. So
I can't
need,
curse. This is a family channel.
So I need to hide behind massive amounts of gain to be able to play the parts right. So it's just a. So this is actually where it's made harder by the fact that I am tuned down to D on the E string, because normally that riff would be here on the 14th fret.
Ooh, I like it. That's interesting that way.
But so in order to get that F sharp and G, I have to move it up 2 frets. So I have to go that.
And it sounds awesome
Yeah.
when he nails it, but it's honestly really hard.
Yeah.
So, we're an energetic rock band,
Yeah.
so it's like if he gets half those notes, I'm usually pretty
Yeah.
happy.
So so I guess back to, so if I start from the solo, so essentially the beginning is mirroring that bridge part. So I'm playing. So one of the I guess signature elements of my lead playing is doing these double stops. I think that's what they're called. All of my solos have them, and that's one of the main reasons why on some of our other songs, like Roaring Twenties and Leave It Frayed, that are both in the key of F, I tend to screw them up sometimes because it's either or it's. So
It's your rock or bust.
Yeah, that's my thing, is the double stop. So those are all over there. So yeah, so when I get up to that E, and then it's this little line. Then the fast riff. And then it goes down. So this is where it gets to the B, the B. So the rest of it, it's all in D major, so then it gets that minor sound, that the relative minor, into B minor, so there's that, the B flat and the G minor, and then it resolves.
Then we just go on the end on the riff a couple of times.
Yeah, then it kind of fades out.
It stays on D. Yeah, so that Shoulda Called You Up last night. And, yeah, I mean, that's been a lot of fun to play out. We've made a video for it, and that's been a crowd favorite for us recently. So if you haven't heard the track before, and you just sat through this for some reason, go check it out, please. And if you have heard it before, please check out some of our
The
other
link to the
stuff.
video is in the comment section. Oh, I can actually do that.
Yeah,
it's
because
a YouTube. I can be like,
yeah,
there.
oh my God, we're those type of people now.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks to Joe at Telegraph for helping us do this. And yeah, tune in. We're going to keep trying to do more video content like this. So leave comments about what you'd like to see us do, you know, and maybe we'll do like an eating contest or something next time. If you're sick of music stuff, who knows. But anyway, thanks, Bobby Mahoney.
I'm Andrew Saul.
And we'll see you again next time. Thanks. Wayne's World. No, I'm just kidding. See ya.
Lit.
Nice. That was cool.